Good.
The first noble truth of Buddhism is there is misery and suffering in the world.
When Buddha contemplated the first noble truth, he must have visited Calcutta. The city was the epitome of misery. Homelessness, poverty, sickness, deformities, existing in millions. Thousands slept in the streets begging for food or digging through trash to survive. On our first walk around our hotel block, we stepped over a dead rat on the sidewalk. The city reeked of trash and the sound of black crows followed us everywhere. The holy Ganges River was so disgustingly polluted that the students refrained from touching it. Religion had a strong presence in Calcutta, giving the citizens some hope that their lives would improve in another life because the one they were living now was full of misery. Hinduism is the predominant religion and is remotely related to Buddhism. Lord Buddha is said to have been the 9th reincarnation of the Lord Vishnu. Our guide also told us that when Vishnu made the world, he had nothing to use, so he used himself to make our planet. Therefore, everything is part of God. Interesting concept, but when looking out over Calcutta, not very appealing to think that God created such misery. But there is hope, and it lies in places like Mother Teresa's orphanage, and in people like our students who gave $1,650 to help the orphan children. The orphanage was sad, but hopeful, and our flight home with numerous newly adopted children reaffirmed our faith that good does exist in miserable places.
Yeah, I'm not.
Which mic?
Okay, so right now we only have one perspective on life, and that's us in the United States. So I'm going to Bhutan to learn different perspectives. And right now I've been on a 10-hour flight from London to Calcutta. I feel like I'm in a weird dream. Rock it on.
You know the music, the sound of music. I kind of expect it to be like that, you know, like when they run through the hills, kind of like that. Fourth noble truth of Buddhism is suffering.
No, is it suffering? The answer to suffering lies in the Eightfold Path. All right, go ahead and do it again.
Maddie got me talking in the last
Hey, shh, I'm on video here. We're on. This is live.
really embarrassed.
Why? I just do it over until you get it right. All right.
I forgot.
What do you think about Bhutan?
Stoked, man. It's gonna be sweet.
What do you expect to experience?
I don't know. Something I've never experienced before.
We're all thinking,
I don't know what to expect.
what do you expect to get out of Bhutan?
Nothing. I was just here for the ride. I had nothing better to do.
The unexpected. Hang out. I don't know. See something that I've never seen before, and nobody else is going to see, and people have no idea what I'm talking about.
We get to see a lot of that.
Yeah. It's a way to be. It's good.
Megan, what do you expect to get out of this trip to Bhutan?
Well, basically it's kind of my goal in life to travel the world, and I don't think I'm ever going to be offered the opportunity to travel to Bhutan in my lifetime again. So you kind of got to seize the opportunity when it's given to you. And I don't really know what to expect. Definitely culture more than anything I've ever been used to.
Thanks, man.
The second noble truth of Buddhism is that suffering is created by desire.
What do you think, Mr. Frazier?
Lovely.
What you think of that approach?
It's one of the best experiences of my life, and that was just flying here.
Circumambulating the little ones are equivalent to the
What we got was a country still blissfully stuck in the past. In many places, it remains the same as it was 1,000 years ago. Buckwheat flour still milled between stones spun by stream's power. 12th century castles called zongs are still used as government religious offices. People still wear gos and kurs, the country's traditional colorful robes. And as you can see, a few of our students and I enjoyed wearing them as well. The Mahayana Buddhist religion guides every aspect of Bhutan, political, economic, and social. One way or another, it affects every citizen in Bhutan. Buddhism is so ingrained in the culture that it permeates every aspect of existence. From King Wangchuk's consultation with an astrologer before a military contest to the poorest farmer toiling behind 2 prayer-beaded oxen and an ancient rice paddy. Orchards of white Buddhist prayer flags dot the mountainsides with cool winds carrying prayers for the dead to the heavens. Everywhere we saw prayer wheels, each spin emitting prayers of compassion to help rid the world of hatred and anger. Some large prayer wheels are powered by glacier-fed streams so they can spin eternally, helping ease the sins of the world. Bhutan is a land of spirits and demons that are often kept at bay by the powers of Buddhist mantras and rituals passed down by the likes of Drukpa Khinle, or the divine madman of the flaming thunderbolt. People adorn their homes with flaming thunderbolt phalluses to ward off evil spirits, which proved to be quite the point of humor for the students. It's a land where the legendary Buddhist Lama Guru Rinpoche flew on the back of a tigress to the cliffs over Paro to establish the holy Takshkang, or Tiger's Nest Monastery, in the 8th century. By the end of the trip, our students felt comfortable meditating on the floor of a temple with red-robed monks or spinning a prayer wheel. But one cannot discuss religion in Bhutan without mentioning politics. The two are equal and integrated throughout society. Bhutan is an absolute monarchy ruled by King Wangchuk, but we found the king has agreed to abdicate in order for democracy to evolve. Presently, Bhutan is in the final stages of drafting their first constitution. We were very fortunate to have the opportunity not only to meet and speak with Chief Justice Sonam Tobgay about the new constitution, but also tour the Supreme Court and have coffee tea with 2 Supreme Court justices. But what got my attention more was the king's concept of gross national happiness, or GNH. It's extremely hard to believe that we met the Chief Justice, but we were the first American group ever to meet the Minister of Home and Cultural Affairs, Jigme Thinley, who lectured us on the finer aspects of G&H, which was first proposed by the King in 1972. The honor was so rare, a documentary director tagged along with our group in order to get an audience with the former Prime Minister. G&H is based on the premise that true development of human society takes place when material and spiritual development occur side by side to complement and reinforce each other. The 4 pillars of G&H are promotion of equitable and sustainable socioeconomic development, preservation and promotion of cultural values, conservation of the natural environment, and establishment of good governance. Liampo Thinley explained, quote, "There is material growth and spiritual growth, and we need to have a balance," unquote. G&H is based on creating more happiness in society, not necessarily more wealth. Hopefully, Liampo Thinley made our students reconsider their own socioeconomic perspectives.
Said?
Yeah, what did you think of the Prime Minister?
I thought it was pretty impressive, but with Bhutan becoming a democracy soon, it's really going to be up to the people whether they decide that they want to continue the plan of gross national happiness or want to, or in a way seduced by the American philosophy of just accumulating as much material as they can.
The Prime Minister.
I thought it was amazing how he was so convinced. You could tell he had the full conviction of believing in the whole gross national happiness principle, like the way he went on and blanked about it. Sometimes he didn't answer the questions quite directly.
Sure, like the one I asked.
Yeah. He was a little long-winded sometimes and debated certain things. Yeah, definitely a politician. But you could still see that he believed so completely in that I thought that was pretty interesting, and I agree with you that that's completely opposite to everything that American society stands for. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
The prayer flags are represented by 5 different colors, which represent the different types of people in the Buddhist religion. Behind me.
Anything else?
It's them. To find your type, you have to find an astrologer, and it's done by your birthday and what time you were born. And it also tells you characteristics of your personality.
Say the magic words, Sean.
And I think that's it.
Cool.
Because they go all the way up the mountainside. I don't know if you can see.
The third noble truth is to get rid of all suffering, you get rid of desire.
And talk to these guys.
God breath easily.
Yeah. Prayer wheels. And Jeremy standing in front of me.
Size like Israel, and then very few. I think 99.
Because like I lived in single also, just for the same reason. Like I was scared of.
Calcutta's making this seem better.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm so happy when we're
Calcutta's like a hellhole, and this is like Shangri-La heaven.
It's horrible.
You know, the thing about Calcutta is I just can't believe people live in that kind of crap.
I didn't even know there were places like that.
No, I mean... Do that again.
Everybody enjoys being in this country, as far as what I know.
Yeah, I think so too.
More pride for the country of Bhutan, just because they have more to have pride over, I guess, in our country.
Well, like, what do you mean more to be proud of?
Like how they take care of the animals in the country, and how the guy said 60% of the country was going to be saved for national forest. Ours is like 2%.
And ours, everybody rakes down the trees to make money and strip mines for coal and all that other crap. Yeah, I can see that. Makes sense.
The government is smaller here, so I feel more
in touch with people too, aren't they?
People have more of an influence here than in the States.
That seems true.
It's kind of just like a big corrupt.
Well, like the Constitution, they go around to each area and they have public conferences to see what everybody thinks about the new Constitution.
Yep.
Now that's a pretty cool concept.
It is cool.
Us, like, what, 40% of the people will vote? Not even 40, I don't think. I mean, here everybody comes out and is active, and at home nobody even really cares anymore.
I could see that.
And they love their country more here.
Especially the king.
Oh gosh.
They're all about it.
They are. I love the full pictures of them, like the full body. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Pretty serious.
It's a pretty country too.
God, it's beautiful. I don't know a country could be prettier. I really don't know what you could do to make this more gorgeous.
I've never been to a country prettier than this.
Dude, maybe if we sit here long enough, we'll run into the king.
Yeah.
Hop in his car.
My name is Aisha. Picture is very beautiful. My name is Aisha. 총지가 그나 빙봉. 찌찌 아빠가 총지 바이 같이 뭐 빙봉. 내려가. Uncle, ngay chili 총지 바이 돼. 마시가. Uncle, 마시가.
Kuzusampo.
마시가. 매매매. 거기 라미디 마팔레라 잘라라 마데. 잘라라 쇼. 예, 아니 쌍기디. 지금 치 너무 일러 잘라마니 그들이 들어 나게 줄이디야 동동 아미다 마 빅파 파타 기미시 오미포 야 깝다
Want to say anything for the camera?
No.
We have the most untalkative group I've ever had in my life. Nobody wants to say anything.
Whenever someone puts me on the spot, I don't feel it.
You blank?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? Come and tell me when you feel it so I can get out the camera and put it on you, and then you'll say, I don't feel it, so. It's like, say something. Kuzusampo. Do a little rap to celebrate your cardigans.
Yo, yo, yo.
Can I take the picture?
We're having lots of fun putting cardigans on. One is red and one is green.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter because we keep so mean and so clean and so fresh. Fresh to death. Like we're from Atlanta, but we're not. We're from Virginia Beach. Yo, yo, if I use bleach, this shit would turn white. That wouldn't be alright. I'd have to come back and buy a new one right now. How? I don't know how. It doesn't really matter. Because we see cows all the time sit next to pot. They don't really know because they eat a lot. They don't get high. They don't die because they stay so high. They fly away, yo, every day. Doesn't even matter because they go, hey, yo, I'm high as shit. I'm about to eat it one more time. Listen to these rhymes. Ah!
The Prince, the whole bit.
I did not say that.
Oh yeah, we got it. Get Sean.
Buddha, 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 rockin' everywhere. Buddha, 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 rockin' everywhere.
Rockin' everywhere.
I found you.
That's a good song.
I can't know the rest of it.
Well, you guys have to make the whole song by the end of the trip.
We need to
I want a serious.
Well, no, because there's a song that's like booty, 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 rockin' everywhere.
Yeah, you see him up there? Group of monks. About anything?
Well, I like how this place reminds me of Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast? Where'd you get that from?
Josh.
Josh?
Yeah.
An old castle.
Yeah, like the I could see,
It's
Gaston walking through.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
You don't remember
I'll go with that.
This is like
Everybody's hanging out the window saying bonjour.
That's true. Little teacups running around. And,
Yeah, my little teacup in the stool.
like this dude up here in the window. Look at that.
If only he'd say bonjour. Bonjour. There's two dudes in the window. Dude, say it and see if he says it back. Two window dudes.
Felt the moment yet?
Felt the moment?
Yeah, to speak. To like stream of consciousness, tell me how you feel about...
Well, I don't want to go back because, I don't know, this atmosphere seems real and our society seems fake. And you'll realize that once you actually come here.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
That's my thought of the moment.
It's a very adept thought. And I mean adept, that's who Divine Madman was. They called him adept.
Farmhouse.
Where?
Your picture of a vampire.
Look.
Random nomadic people like playing a flute in the middle of this.
Hey, what happened?
Okay, we were in that store, and I was looking at this bag, and I was going through like the newspaper and everything, and then a rat jumped out and like landed on my hand and like dug its nails and like shot off. Freaked me out. Like the guy working, he like.
Oh my god.
It was so funny.
Gosh, I don't know if we want to put that on film because your parents might freak.
No, it was so funny. The guy was like, "Oh, the rat," and then like he thought it was silly in the back, so he like ran out, but it looked like he was running away from it. And I was like, "Don't you leave!" Like, so funny.
As I kept asking the students what they expected from Bhutan, they began to ask me what I expected, and many asked why I wanted to go to Bhutan in the first place. I wanted to respond with George Mallory's infamous Everest quote, "Why do you want to climb Everest?" And he said, "Because it's there." But in fact, the answer is more like, because nobody else goes there. Bhutan opened the gates to tourism in 1974, and last year only 10,000 were allowed to enter, and we were one of the first American high schools to go, which made our journey all that more special. My expectations weren't much different from the students, except mine were probably based more on statistics than theirs. 90% of the population is subsistence farmers. 35% of the country does not have electricity. GDP per capita, somewhere around 650, but probably far less. Life expectancy of 54 years and an infant mortality rate just below 100 children per 1,000. 47% literacy rate. But beyond that, I was as clueless as the students. When I arrived, my experiences not only were far greater than my expectations, but in many ways life-changing. The lack of commercialism and materialism was as refreshing as the clean, cold rivers that filled our ears in each valley. No technology, just pure, simple, communal living where people cared for one another. Something that probably hasn't existed in our society in a very, very long time. Every year on Nexus senior trips, we try living in the same conditions as a local. This year, we slept in a farm. There's no doubt that between the hot rock baths and the challenging hole-in-the-ground toilet, we get the first-hand experience what a $650 GDP really means.
Why did you say that?
What's your name? What?
Ugen.
Ugen? And your name?
Nothing to
Your name?
Oh, yes.
Because I'm Willie.
Very cool. You play that, Willie? Did I pay? Oh.
Go.
The fourth noble truth of Buddhism is the answer to suffering lies in the Eightfold Path. Seriously? I want to read. Are you still filming?
Don't worry, I got it. We're hot. We're live. We're gonna have outtakes. We're gonna have Kelly outtakes. Cut.
I'm about to push up the
Cut. You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna be able to do it. Yeah, probably not.
I love you.
Look at him.
Guru Rinpoche thing.
Yeah, he's up there.
Huh?
It's amazing.
It is, isn't it? Look, they're all turning around looking at us. There's a whole bunch. It's a huge
like
troop.
20.
Yeah, there's a huge troop. There's a baby. Well, you guys saw your first monkeys ever in the wild. Yep. What do you think?
That was a hike. Magnificent. It's worth so pretty. Yeah, beautiful.
What?
Jigme.
How old are you, Jigme? 15. Okay.
Oh my god, it's awesome. We did it!
No, he's
like, you shut your mouth.
We're not there yet.
You're gonna yeah.
At least it's not like over there.
Yeah.
Gotta be optimistic about these.
Is this what you wanted out of your trip?
Yeah, this is pretty good.
This is better than I expected. This is so much more than the video.
Yeah. Oh, am I on camera again?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is dank nasty.
Hold on. Let me get you this backdrop, which is relatively phenomenal as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
not bad.
That was a seriously steep up.
In Dzongkha, it says that this is the Buddhist Institute for the Buddhist University for Meditation. The second language is in Pali, which is one of the most ancient languages. Then it's in Sanskrit. Then again, it's in Bhutanese.
What are your names again? Say for the camera. Thanks for coming with us today. Courtney?
Awesome. It's so pretty. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
It is gorgeous,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so pretty.
It looks so ridiculous.
Was it worth it, kids?
It was so worth it.
Yes.
Look at that one. So snugly.
God, this is just, oh, my heart bleeds. Cool. I can on this.
Of the Kajikpa sect,